Hello everyone, my name is Verex, and this is going to be a little rambly update for the Iosia YouTube site. So, hi, hope you're all doing well. It's been a while since I've just rambled on about this without it being a self-indulgent stream, so I thought I'd do a self-indulgent video instead, I suppose. It is raining outside, it has been thundering and lightning, very atmospheric. I have some Guild Wars 2 music on, I believe, by Jeremy Soule. I haven't played Guild Wars 2, so can't really confirm that it is, but that's what the video says. And I've been working a bit on Iosia, and in doing so I thought I'd just make a little video of what has been going on. Because I have been updating it. This is the new site, which I mentioned and showed off last time. Your feedback was greatly appreciated and was largely, in fact, more or less exclusively positive on it. I'll just zoom up a little bit because it's in the video and stuff. So that the resolution might not be so crisp, but yes, you all seem to really like it. So I was very pleased about that. I had to darken the text, which I have now done. I did it pretty much straight away, so now it's all crisp and clear, and hopefully everything is fine. Things have changed since last time. If we go into the updates, we can see a couple of things have been going on. So just go through that. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to this person here, Neon. That's all I know how to pronounce your name. I do apologize for that. If you have been providing a great deal of marvelous art for me. If we go down here, we can see. Oh, I need to add those harbingers you did. But yes, we have this picture of Pinnacle and the Ownish guy, and this creature, which came up from your imagination of mine, but I've worked it in, or at least it's part of the steps. So, and the steps is sort of a little bit of an iffy place that hasn't really been fleshed out just yet, even though it's quite a large area of the world. But yes, this thing, whatever it is, stalks there. But yes, also we have in the Harbingers page things like this, which are really nice. So he's providing a lot of nice art for me, and yeah, I just think that they're all amazing, and he's doing it really quickly as well, and like maybe one a week, which is really excellent, because what it makes me do is he's drawn a picture of a Harbinger, so this is all new, this Harbinger page. I had to write that because of that, so it really helps to motivate me. I've drawn a picture of this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll put it on the site, but I have nothing to go with it, so I've got to write this to go with it. So there we go. There shouldn't be. No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I've also added this search thing here, which is the Google search that I mentioned earlier. It works pretty well for what it is. It's just a free thing that I stuck on there, part of a code. Last time I mentioned that there was a load of fragmented pages on the web space of older versions of the website, and that is still true. So, for example, if I was to type own into this, it would give me a load of pages. But some of them, I believe this one is, yes, from 2 sites ago. So I need to remove all of that sort of thing, because, it's obviously not really there anymore. But I don't want to do that until I'm absolutely sure I've taken everything off the old sites. And just here in the compendium that is now also being updated since the last time, which is going to have a bunch of basically miscellaneous stuff. We've got artifacts and we've got gods and stuff. I need to put everything that hasn't fit into realms, races, or general into this from the old sites. Once I'm sure I've got everything, I will delete all the old site information, so when we search, it will just bring up pages from this website, like this. Oh no, yes, there's Alan, and there it is. So this site, I admit, isn't perfect, because it opens things in new windows. I have 2 windows, but it was free, and it's the best that I can do right now. I have looked at other sorts of ways I can do it that seemed like a quick and dirty way that sort of like suited my purpose. It's not ideal, but for the time I'm willing to spend on it right now, that's that. Also, the contact me thing is down here now, but at least the same page as before. So you can just fill out this web form and it will send me a message directly to my inbox at variax@ioc.com. So there's that. Also, a good, I want to say friend of mine called Red has been in touch a lot about IOCA lately. He's been a great sort of like mentor and muse, I suppose, when it comes to just like encouraging me and talking about things. And he's done a GIMP version of the map we see behind me, behind this, so that I can edit it and add land masses and change stuff. Now, I must admit, I wasn't as skilled as GIMP as I expected, so it's taken me a little bit of a, I gotta get my head around what he's done with that. I admit that I haven't really put as much time into that as I would have liked, though, so maybe it's not as difficult as I have expected, but yes, that is still ongoing. This map will be replaced, although I want to keep like this background as it is, because, the artwork that was done for Miss by Avarice Ball was excellent. It's just that the world is developing beyond what I, what she drew, and I would like to, add things and whatnot. And this file that Red sent to me is a good way to do that, but I can't edit it right now because I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll have to think about that. But yes, also, I've been thinking a lot. The more you write in this, the more you get ideas. So I've been thinking about a lot of things, like in realms, in the realm of Magador. I want one of the cities to be a lawless. It's all kind of lawless, but I want one to be like a fragmented, fractured sort of like city with different factions in it, a little bit like Mordheim, if you know what that is. And I wanted a setting like that, and I haven't really got one in Iocea, so I want to stick that in Magador. I will also add maps to all of these places, but I can't until I get that GIMP file to be working. I should also mention, and I do humbly apologise that I didn't before, that also another artist, Mugi, has allowed me to use some of her art, which is not Iocea based. These are not pictures of Iocea, but these are just pictures that she's drawn. And I said, can I use these? And she's like, absolutely, go ahead. So I've sort of like taken them so I can use them in areas just to flesh out pages. For example, I believe that one is in Malarai. So it's just got a little bit of art with it, It's just a little feature in the page. There's lots of text here, and I don't have a map yet. So a big thank you to her as well for letting me add that sort of thing. But yeah, I've got lots of other ideas as well, and but a lot of them revolve around changing the map. So I guess that's next on the list. Except I've been doing other stuff as well. For example, a couple of nights ago, I sat down with the boy. This story here, which I wrote a couple of months ago, I suppose now. I really should put a date on here when I uploaded it. This would be a good idea. Because this is sort of the draft version. This is, but I need to. I did go back to it. I'm about 2/3, 3/4 of the way through it, and I've just scribbled all over it with red pen. Because it's all wrong. All of it's all wrong. It's actually not that bad. Again, Red has been very good. He's read through this and quite a lot, and I got some feedback from Iruk and a few other people as well. But yeah, Red has been very analytical with everything and really good about the whole thing, and he's read it a couple of times and he's given me a good feel about what needs to be improved in his opinion, and I've read it, and a lot of it I do agree with, and I did laugh at some of the things that I've sort of like left in there from sort of early ideas that I thought I'd taken out but were still in there. So there's that. So I'm doing that, and also there's this story called Darkness and Shadow, which I may have mentioned before. I probably have. It's a really, really annoying story for me. Is that it's for some reason very, very difficult for me to finish, even though it's not a difficult story to write because there's not much to it. It's just like a good old adventuring quest. I want to get it out the way. I want to get it done. So I want to rewrite The Boy, and I want to finish Darkness and Shadow and get the first draft of that up. But I'm not as serious as Darkness and Shadow as I am about the boy, so I probably won't go back to that too much. Though sort of any massive things I will change, that are wrong or stand out or whatever. So that's all of the stuff that I'm sort of on with. Also, it's been a very, very, very long time since I have touched this thing here. I also role-playing game, so I'm thinking about hosting a game of this. It does need redoing as well, so I'm thinking once I've got the boy rewritten, and I don't think the second draft of that will be too difficult to write. You need to switch stuff around as you do and delete stuff and add stuff here, flesh things out here and there, but the structure of it is basically sound, which is a relief. So it's just basically tweaking things here and there, so it shouldn't be too bad. And then once I get the Darkness and Shadow done, and that's only about 2 chapters away from being completed, it really isn't that bloody difficult, Variax, just get it done. Then I'm thinking about hosting a game of this, probably streaming it online and stuff. The reason I want to do it, as well as it's been quite a long time that I've done a game, is that the last game I played was in real life with a couple of people from work, and it was the worst game of IRPG or any other role-playing game I've ever played, because there wasn't many of us in the session, and the bulk of people hadn't really done this sort of thing before. And a lot of the time, because I've played games with the entire sort of like cast of players haven't played a game like this before, so they don't really know what to expect. But they work into it and get into it. But some people just don't, do they? And this is one of those times, I'm afraid, where I invited 2 people along. They said they'd give it a go, fair enough, but it seemed beyond their mental capacity, to be honest with you. I know it's sort of like sounding quite insulting to them. They'll never hear this anyway. But when I asked just the simple question of, right, which one of you wants to react first, because they had a choice, silence for a minute, because they got to think on my feet, there's no rules. They couldn't grasp the concept of the game. And it really tarred my sort of like my opinion of I suppose, and I haven't touched it since. I was like, oh, that was terrible. What a waste of time. So I need to get rid of that. So I want to host a game again, but in doing so I have to write a story for them to play through. I need to assign a cast of characters. I do have a couple of people in mind. I haven't asked anybody yet. If you'd like to join, please, drop me a line. Although I do have a bias with people that I know and have spoken to. I'm quite open about that. If, you've never commented before, or I've never really spoken to you that much or whatever, I'll be a bit like, well, I'd rather play with people I know. Because it is a friendly get-together social gathering at the end of the day, even though it's, online, looking at a computer. But it's about as social as it gets in this medium. So I'd like to do it with people that I know and, know that I like and, but, no harm in saying I'm up for a game sometime. Though it will be European-based, so be European time and stuff like that. But, it's all far in the future. I'm talking, like, months. But that's my sort of, like, plan for the whole thing. Next couple of months. And also, when November comes, and it's not that far away, I would like to do NaNoWriMo. Now, again, these are all grand plans. I'm going to take it one step at a time. But before November, I would like to get The Boy rewritten, Darkness and Shadow written, and an IRPG game under my belt to dispel the last debacle that I did, where I had to hand guide these 2 people through it because they just didn't get it. They didn't understand the concept of thinking on their feet and not really relying on the rules and using their imagination and thinking, right, I'm in a situation, what would I do, or what would my character do? They couldn't get it in their heads at all. It just wasn't there. No matter how sort of like I tried to put it across and the other players tried to put it across, and they just couldn't. So but they gave it a go, and it's not for everyone, and there we go. So I'd like to forget about that and move on with something a bit better. And while we're at it, I need to do a bit more on the Magic Manual, because it's still on version 1, so it has not changed since I released this game several bloody years ago now. And it's perfectly serviceable as it is, but it just needs to be a bit more better than that. But that's I'm not going to worry too much about that right now because, you know, it is serviceable. It's just not as good as I would like it to be. But then again, you know, at the end of the day, nothing is. Although having said that, I am quite pleased with the state of the website right now, which is the first time I get to say that because everything's sort of done-ish. You know, there's no gaps. You know, you want to know about Nethica, there's a bit about Nethica and a bit more out there, you know, and all the races have something about them. There are, more or less, there are little bits that aren't. For example, the Cyclops. I haven't written anything there. But I've asked you nag me if you want to know about the Cyclops, so that does help, you know, like with the Harbinger thing, with a Harbinger, with the art that Nuon drew. If someone asks me to do it, I do it. But yeah, so certain things, you know, there's like griffins, but it's all relatively, you know, small things. Generally speaking, everything is there, and there is something about everything. So I'm pretty pleased about that. There's still sort of gaps here as well where I haven't written about these guys or these, but again, it's small details that can be added over time. In general, I'm very, very happy with the way the site's looking, and you know, someone can come to it for the first time and actually learn quite a bit about Eosia, especially in the Generals tab, where you know, there's quite a bit. Oh, look at that! That's terrible. I'm going to sort that out at the bottom there. There's loads of stuff, loads of it. So I'm, you know, I'm actually quite glad that you know, it's nearing a station, you know, a serviceable state. So I'm very, very glad. Second bloody long time, but we got there in the end. So that was it. I don't know if you got anything from that, but I just wanted to babble for a little bit, and I've done that. And now I'll shut up. Any comments and suggestions, questions, please leave them below in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So I'll see you soon. Toodaloo.